As I said in the last video, these are the answers for the practice problems. Most of them are quite easy and about the same, so I will just talk about the second one and the fourth one. If you have any questions about the problem, you are welcome to leave your comments and questions under the reply sections. I will check that part and try to give you a satisfying answer. The second one is d dx 3x plus x to the fourth square plus 1 divided by x. First, we separate it into 3 parts, and then we calculate the derivative of each part. The first 2 parts are all easy, but the third part is 1 divided by x, which is equals to x to the negative 1 square. And then after we know that, we could find out the answer using the second formula we talked about in the last video. The answer is negative 1 times x to the negative 2 square. The fourth one is using the fifth formula, which is the one for multiplying. We know that the derivative for x sine x is cosine x, and the derivative for x to the third is 3 times x squared. So at the end the answer is like this. Continue the last video. In this video, I would like to introduce the next 6 formulas, which are all about trigonometric functions. These are all in pairs, so I would like to introduce them in pairs too. The first and the second one, d dx sine x equals to cosine x. And the second one is d dx cosine x equals to negative sine x. These two are a pair, but different in some ways. The negative sign here in the second one is always easily forgotten here. And I would like to introduce you a method. Maybe it's helpful for you to remember this. Normally, we remember the trigonometric functions in the order of sine x, cosine x, and tangent x. So when the formula follows the order like the first one, d dx sine x, and then equals to cosine x, then the answer is positive. If it disobeys the order like the second one, the answer is negative. And here's the third and fourth one. d dx tangent x equals to secant x squared. And the fourth one is d dx cotangent x equals to negative cosecant x squared. These two are pairs of tangent and cotangent. Tangent is corresponding to secant, and cotangent is corresponding to cosecant. Still, the negative sign in the fourth formula is really easy to forget. Again, using that method, sine x cosine x, tangent x, and after these three is secant x, cosecant x, and then cotangent x. Here, tangent x and cotangent x are always in the front and in the last. So cotangent x is always following the tangent x. So the answer of d dx cotangent x should be with negative sign. Or you could say that these two cosecant x is always following secant x, so it's negative cosecant x squared. And also, except for this negative sign, you also need to remember that there is a square in these two formulas. Maybe you think that you won't make that kind of stupid mistake, but I've made that mistake before, so I would like to tell you to be careful. And here's the last two is d dx secant x equals to secant x times tangent x. And the sixth one is d dx cosecant x equals to cosecant x times cotangent x. We still, as before, need to be cautious to the negative sign. I believe you could also see the regular pattern of these two. They're all equals to themselves times tangent or cotangent. And this method is also used in the third and fourth one. And so these two are related. And also, I think these three are related too. And finally, we have finished more than half of the formula of derivative because these 6 formulas are all really easy. All the things you need to do is to remember these formula so that you could use it in the question. That's all for today. See ya.